Yaira is the latest release from the indie comic book publisher Rippaverse. This debut issue is written by none other than the Twisted Twins of Horror themselves, Jin and Sylvia Soska, and the artwork is done by Deborah Carita. And I am here to give you a full on video review of Yaira number one. Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side. Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Airy. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I drop a new video or go on a live stream, and consider becoming a channel member. All right, so it's true. I received my copy of Yaira, which you probably saw. I posted a picture on my Facebook and Instagram, as well as Twitter and my locals page. So I was very excited to get this. Now, I wrote a review for it on StudioJakeMedia.com, and I wanted to read my review of it and then also kind of expand on it because what my re- reviews I try to keep more technical just so people can understand them, but here I wanted to expand a little bit and I was worried that the verbiage would get lost in translation. So following her encounter with Isom, Yaira is on the run from Alpha Core members Solari, Braxwell, and Ingrid. She always manages to escape from them, but when three powerful beings arrive in Floorspar, Texas, that's where the events take place, Yara has a chance encounter with a young woman called Stefania who seems to have her powers. With Alpha Core and these otherworldly beings after her, Yaira takes Stefania on the run while also remembering her past. Now, I don't even know where to begin with this. It's a 96-page special. It's delivered, and it has delivered on all the hype surrounding Yaira and her place in the Rippaverse. Now, to be honest, I do have one little critique with it, and that's what sometimes the action felt a little bit repetitive because she has several encounters with Alpha Core and she has several encounters with these beings. And just for it being in one volume, it did feel like it got just a wee bit repetitive in that nature. But outside of that, I have to say Yaira is one epic comic book experience. And it's one for everyone, whether you are a collector or just a fan, or you just want to collect some cool artwork. This is the comic slash graphic novel for you. The Soska sisters are excellent writers and they did an amazing job with the plot. Yaira was always alluring, but this story shows her strengths, her weaknesses, and her origins while also hinting at a future in this Rippaverse, the wider Rippaverse. And I have to say, the Soska sisters, they put it all together very well, and it was one exciting story. And I have to say, the artist, she did amazing as well. On every single level, she delivered, whether it be the character designs, the background illustrations, or the action sequences. She did amazing, and I do hope that she returns to do another Rippaverse comic book because I was hooked to it. She really made those pages pop. Now, I also want to mention the cover. So, this is the one I got. This is cover D, which was done by the very talented Mark Evans. He did an amazing job, but I also want to highlight cover A, which I will put on the screen, which was done by Kanan White, who he is, I believe he's the art editor for the Rippaverse, something like that. And he did an amazing job, as you can see from here, right? This looks incredible. And now I have to say they have two other ones, and I'm throwing no shade at them, just personal preference. I liked the Mark Evans one as well as the Kanan White one. That's just uh, what I have to say about that. So that was kind of like my initial overall review. And I would just like to say how excited I am with the Rippaverse. They really do a good job on each one of their releases. They always put their company ethics, which I'm just going to give you the bare bones of it: respect the customer, canon and continuity, and a comprehensive timeline. So it looks very cool that it's all coming together in this way. The Soska sisters, I previously reviewed their comic book that they did based on the Black Widow, which was actually written when Marvel was going downhill very, very fast. It was just after the Secret Empire debacle, and they did a Black Widow where she's on the run. She's faked her death, or I don't know if she faked her death and she came back or something like that. I'm not caught up, but it's after that, and she's hiding in the Pacific, and she decides to take on this group of thugs that do these horrible online games with children, just disgusting stuff, and Black Widow takes them down. And sorry, something in my throat apparently. And they did an incredible job with that, and they do an incredible job here. They are amazing, and I'm familiar with not all of their films, but one of my favorites of theirs is Vendetta, and then they just recently did Festival of the Living Dead, which was great. So they were the perfect ones for this. Now they're also writing a book for an Isom character called Bloodruth, who's introduced, I believe, in Isom issue 2, and I'm really excited to see what they do with that. I can't remember who the artist is for that one, but it looks really good. But I have to say, Deborah Carita did a fantastic job of the artwork on this. I don't want to give anything away, but I just wanted to show you this this full look at Yaira at the back of the comic book. Oh my gosh, fantastic! She did an amazing job. I know that there was a conspiracy theory that some people were pushing, that she didn't actually do the artwork, that they brought in Kanan White, who, like I said, did the cover A for it, and he actually did it. And despite denials from the Soskas, from Eric July, the founder of Rippaverse, and Kanan White himself, this conspiracy theory continues to be pushed. I've seen Kanan White's work. He is very talented. This isn't a statement about his talent, but he is a different style than Deborah. And I will say her work here is distinct, it's unique, and I don't buy it. I mean, and also, like I said, the team behind the Rippaverse are denying it. I have no reason to doubt them, and I think that that's kind of a dumb conspiracy theory. And like I said, this is just me eyeballing it, but if you look at Kanan White, how he draws versus how Deborah does, he is fantastic. And I have to say also, Eric Weathers, he did the lettering for this comic, and uh, there are parts where those otherworldly beings that I mentioned in my review, where they are speaking and they have a unique word bubble or thought bubble, and he did a great job with those. I have to compliment him. I would be remiss if I didn't mention it in this video review of Yaira. But all that to say, Yaira is fantastic. It's an amazing entry into the Rippaverse, and I cannot wait to see what is coming next for Yaira specifically, but also in the wider scheme of the Rippaverse. I've already ordered my copy of the Ripazine, which is their anthology magazine that they're doing. So I can't wait to get that and to review that as well. But for now, let me just say how much I loved Yaira. It's exactly what I'm looking for as someone who collects comics, and it was exciting to read. It was exciting to see all of the cool artwork. Yaira herself is incredibly illustrated, and I loved her entry into ISOM, into Alpha Core, and now on her own graphic novel. And I just can't wait to see where Eric July and his team are going to take this Rippaverse, because so far I have been blown away and excited with each announcement. I know Gooding is the next one. It's the one that is written by Mike Barron. I actually think they have here it is right here. And it's going to be drawn by Will Conrad. Mike Barron is a legendary comic book writer. He's the creator of Nexus, my favorite sci-fi comic book series. So I know that one is going to be fantastic. All that to say, Yaira is a huge, huge win for the Rippaverse, for Eric July, for the Soska sisters, for Deborah Corita, and for the Rippaverse overall. Fantastic job, everyone. You did amazing, and I can't wait to see what is next when Gooding and when the Ripazine comes out. If you like that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment Tell me what you think and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, consider becoming a channel member where you get all kinds of perks. Once a week, I do a release for members that they get a first look at before the rest of the audience sees it. So consider becoming a channel member and giving me super chats on live stream and everything else in between. And if you're like, Jacob, I don't really want to support you on Big Tech. I'm watching you on Rumble, Odyssey, or BitChute. Hey, no worries. You can support me by going to my locals community. The link is in the description. You can sign up there. It's kind of like Patreon or Subscribestar. That is how you can support indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on StudioJake.
Cause I've been living life right like I could just die.